Yeah, so this part is very fun. This is where really, at least for me, I'm starting to feel more excited because I'm getting more in sync with what is happening in the shot, and our ideas are starting to flow. I'm starting to see things. So let's say that my creative satisfaction, or if we call it like my creative satisfaction tank, which is I'm aiming to really fill that satisfaction tank of creativity, is starting to be filled little by little, and that feels good. That's kind of like a compass, right? It's like, it feels like, okay, I'm feeling good about it. Things are starting to get done in a good way. I feel good about it. So that's something that is good. It's good to always keep it present. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna be doing is, now that we have identified all the bits of the shots, and particularly all those golden poses, what we want to do now is just basically to feel each single of them and start to thumbnail it, and to take notes, and to trying to feel or trying to push them to the next level. That's why I call this kind of like adding depth to the poses. Why? Because this is the opportunity that we have to stop, at least in the golden poses, pose by pose, try to feel it, and try to really explore and understand why a pose is like that. Why for example, are some poses that when you are like angry or something, and it feels like in the hands, right? So the good thing is that when you are doing a shot, and when you are taking references, you don't have the opportunity to stop and feel your hands and try to understand what is going on in your hands, why your hands are like that, right? This is a step to do that. If you're doing a shot where the character is angry, and at some point you get like this, well, by doing this process, you're gonna be able to just stop in that particular golden pose and try to feel it, and try to ask yourself, why am I doing this? How does it feel? So by doing that, you're gonna have the chance to, it feels like I'm even starting to swear, sorry. It feels like that because this or because that, because I wanna hit, or because I feel desperate, right? And you start to explore it in a way that you can then do sketches, maybe giving more importance, maybe doing those hands bigger. Maybe when you are exploring that kind of anger, you realize that your shoulders are very, very, very high, or it feels like tense. It feels like with a very strong emotion of anger in those shoulders. So you draw it, and you let's say you take note of that. You don't really need to be good at drawing. The only thing that you need to do is to observe yourself in each single pose. Also, I do this process in my pad, or in my pen, or in my I use like a pen, or I draw it because I like it, and because this makes me feel good. It's a part of the process that for me is very fun. You don't need to do it this way. You don't really enjoy it. You can go straight and start your scene right now in this moment, doing this process of adding depth already in the 3D. The only thing is that you stop. Now that you know which are your golden poses, you stop each one by one, and you feel it. You feel it as much as you can, and you explore it, and you say, okay, why this is going that way? Why? So let's do that with this shot, and let's try to understand why I go to some of those poses, why I do that, and try to find a way to add them, to make them more interesting. Because that's the thing. This is the first step. This is the first step that we're gonna be doing, where we really see how we are not sticking into the video reference ideas. The video reference ideas are just the door, are just like the very first, let's say, the introduction to what we could do later on. Our poses can change still. Our poses can get somewhere else. As we stop in each single of them, we can see how those poses changes, or always even they change it completely and they become a totally different pose, right? So we have to stay open for that still at this part of the process. When we're in polish and we're doing splining, we shouldn't do changing our poses unless the supervisor asks us for. But at this stage it's good to do that, and still to keep pushing to stay more in this kind of flowing feeling of changing as the ideas comes and goes.